Astral Force dropped not long ago for the international side of Vanguard, so you know what that means. It's that time of the month again to break down the latest set for Cardfight Vanguard.
Stand up! Vanguard!
Astral Force is the grand finale set of the Cinnamon arc and thus has some hard-hitting units within this set that are used by the protagonist and antagonist of the show. With yet again another extra booster set makes this the 13th extra booster set in the series that provides support for Angel Feather, Genesis and Gear Chronicle. This set has 62 cards from which 8 are reprints. The card rarity is split in 3 VRs, 6 triple Rs, 9 double Rs, 15 rares and 29 commons. But this set isn't equally divided as both Angel Feathers and Gear Chronicle gets 25 cards, but Genesis only gets 12 cards in this set. In the special rarity slots, we have 3 SVRs, 6 SPs and 3 imaginary gift rares, and also 7 super special rares. The 3 imaginary gift rares are 2 different types of Force 1 markers and a Type 2 Protect markers to go alongside the new Protect 2 Angel support. As for the 7 super special rares, they are all 7 special borderless Genesis cards with a special hot stamp on top of them. They all will be found in one single card pack that is slotted once per case, so similar to the Eska pack for the Mysterious Fortune. This set gives support for the Mystery Flare build for Gear Chronicle and some support for Genesis Himiko's build. But the main bulk of the support goes towards finishing the Aggro Angel playstyle, the new discard gears with Chrono Tiger Rebellion, and upgrading the Astral Plane Uranus Valkyrian build for Genesis. The Astral Force is the first set that starts empowering Force and Protect decks to deal with strong Exile presence. On the cover we see the brand new VR for Genesis as well as for Angel Feather, so let's start this video with the latter. Arc Aether Malkuth Malak finishes what Cosmo Healer Ergodil started. This new support for Angels gives the aggressive playstyle the boost it needed with more control options, stronger units and enough ways to keep the pressure at a good level. Angel Feather found its way to a good position where it can win most of its matches. This new Angel Feather support consists out of 25 cards, 1 VR, 2 triple Rs, 4 double Rs, 6 rares and 12 commons, from which 4 are reprints and 1 rare reprint per Vanguard. This set doesn't introduce a vanilla, but we get a new high base power grid 3 that comes with its own unique restriction. And of course we have yet again a new starter. As stated, this supports the aggro playstyle, but there are also a trio of cards that work with Protect 2 to get more value out of these cards. But besides that, we get more damage manipulation support from either our damage zone or our opponents. Just like the previous support of Angel Feathers, the overall support is solid, but not a single unit pops out, except for one particular card, the Grade 1 Triple R 8 Royd Lamedo. This card allows us to give the Sentinel Restrict to any column for a counterblast and the destruction of this particular unit. That in itself is no problem, as Angel can manage that resources and they can also swarm the field quite easily, so the cost is no big issue. But the payout is huge. Allowing any column to swing in with the Sentinel Restrict can be devastating, as if that column is high enough, that can mean a free damage, and as soon as it comes with a 13k booster, means we at least get a head start. But not only that, Angel Feather, thanks to the last 2 support waves, has plenty of strong beaters to choose from. But there's one more thing, this can work with the Vanguard unit as well, meaning we can give any boss unit the Sentinel Restrict. A great target is the previous VR Cosmo Healer Ergodil, as that can swing in for big numbers and it has a crit, which makes it a very powerful finishing turn. Royd Lamedo being a grade 1 and not restricted means it will only become better and better the more powerful units Angel Feathers gets. So this is most likely a staple for years to come. Besides the much needed support for the aggro Angel build, this deck also gets some fancy new special parallel cards. In this set they get 2 new SPs and 1 SVR. The SVR is yet again the golden border type that we come to expect from the Cinnamon arc. As for the SPs, we have the SP version of 8 Royd Lamedo and the grade 2 8 Royd Zayn. It's not that often that we get some non-female Angel SPs, so it's hard to gauge how expensive these might get, if at all. Now from the messengers of the god, we go to the gods themselves, as we head straight into the new Genesis support. Origin Deity of Heavenly Light Uranus is the 3rd Astral Poet that allows Genesis to open up the Astral Plane, only this version comes with a twist where you need less markers but you need to pay an additional cost to keep the plane open. With the new support line, the deck becomes more consistent than ever, and it's now able to dish out powerful attacks one after another. The new Genesis support consists out of 12 cards, 1 VR, 2 triple Rs, 2 double Rs, 3 rares and 4 commons, which all are brand new cards. This support wave also contains no new vanillas or starters. This set does contain generic soul charge support and an interesting duo that allows any Genesis deck to attain extra markers even in the early game, just like Battlemane and Mitsuki. But the more interesting bunch are the direct support cards for the Astral Plane deck. In this set, there is one card in particular that I really want to highlight, and that is Braw Antler Dragon. This grade 3 allows us to copy the trigger power and crits that are given to the Vanguard. This is similar to how the new Asha token works, only this gets the trigger benefits. But in turn, it can be boosted and works in any build. For Genesis, this can be an insane beater, as if we run it in the Astral Plane build, we can have a total of 7 drive checks, and with Valkyrian, we can fuel the soul no problem. In a Himiko build, we can force 3 triggers off of her effect and pass them on him, making 2 attacks, swinging with an additional 30k power and 4 crits. The soul might be hard to manage, but with the new soul charge cards, this becomes easier and easier to sustain. And you can of course go crazy if you have 2 of these units in both columns to go for maximum pressure and value off of your triggers. The more drive checks, trigger effects or soul charge cards we get, the better this card becomes. And with the prospect of a grade 1, grade 3 searcher, makes this card even more realistic to run as a tag option. Gods need to be showcased in full glory, so as per usual, they have plenty of special parallel cards. In this set, they get 2 SPs, 1 SVR and 7 super special parallels. The SVR is the same golden border type with a slight zoomed in image. The SPs are the grade 1 searcher Decay of Just Path and the grade 2 beater Phenomenas of the Constellations. As for the super special rares, we have these 7 cards in full glory that are the 3 Astral Poets grade 3s, the grade 1 searcher, the new grade 2 beater, and of course Valkyrian and the Astral Plane. Now that we've seen the gods emerging from a holy realm, it's time to look at time itself, as new machine beings emerge from a rift in time. Chrono Tiger Rebellion ushers in a new era for Gear Chronicle, an era where they take back their position among the powerful. The new Chrono Fang build focuses on discarding cards from hand to attain powerful effects from guard restriction to extra power, crits, and even drive checks. The new Gear Chronicle support consists out of 25 cards, 1 VR, 2 triple Rs, 3 double Rs, 6 rares, and 13 commons, from which 3 are reprint triggers. This set also contains a new starter, a new 15k shield grade 1 vanilla, their 3rd critical trigger, and the grade 1 drop draw PG. This wave provides Gear Chronicle with support for the bind playstyle, plus some generic support. It also contains an interesting trio of cards that manipulate their grades and synergizes with grade 4s. But the main bulk of the support focuses on the new playstyle with a Chrono Fang ride chain laying at the center of it all. There are too many interesting cards to highlight in this set for Gears for only one video, so if you want to have a better look at these cards, then check out this playlist I made of my Road to Next Hit series, where I take all the cards apart and analyze them to see how good they are for Gear Chronicle. But in this video, there can only be one card that I can highlight, and that has to be Steam Skara Ear Cup. What can I say? Being able to give any Vanguard an additional drive check is insane. It's basically a cycle effect. The best kind of cycle effect. Also, a discard effect synergizes pretty well with the new support, as you can chain it off with other cards like Chrono Tooth Tigar. But an extra drive check is also a lot of extra pressure you're generating. A 1 to pass and a 2 to pass aren't safe bets anymore, and a 3 to pass isn't a guaranteed guard. And that is only when we're talking about 1 Ear Cup, as we can stack this effect if we have more than 1 on the field. This type of effect will always be strong, and if we ever get a solid restander, then this effect will allow us to plus off of it, as the extra drive check stays until the end of turn. So Steam Skara Ear Cup is definitely the new staple for Gear Chronicle for years to come. If we talk about gears, we need to talk about bling, as we can't have steampunk machines that aren't shiny. As in this set, we have 2 new SPs and 1 SVR. As per usual, the SVR is the golden border type, which works really nice with the gold-yellow details of a Rebellion. As for the SPs, we have an SP version of Chronobite Tiger, and of course the new main grade 3 Chrono Fang Tiger. These SPs aren't going to be cheap, but luckily for us, we can skip Chronobite, as that card will probably find itself replaced very soon. But that is a story for another time. And that's the Astral Force set in a nutshell, from everything that it has to offer for Angel Feathers, Genesis, and Gear Chronicle. But you are here, of course, to know which deck we're gonna feature on our deck spotlights for Astral Force. So without further ado, the next coming spotlights for the Astral Force that are coming to Vanguard Insider are 3 new VR builds. And we start off with the one for Angel Feathers that is the new aggro-aggressive playstyle that upgraded with Malkuth Malak. So expect some spicy attacks and interesting combination what we can utilize this new VR to its full capacity within the Angel Feather support that we got in this set, but also in the Infinity's Cradle set, as that also laid the foundation for this new build. Then from Angel Feathers, we dive into the new Godly Realm with Genesis as we take a look at the upgraded build for Uranus with the whole Valkyrian package. This deck got a significant boost with the new cards in this set, and even though it wasn't that big, it was big in utility wise and power level. So expect some insane combination plays and some powerful attacks that you weren't expecting from Uranus and Valkyrian. And lastly, we finish everything up with my favorite clan as we dive into the new builds for Gear Chronicle with a spotlight focusing on the new VR and Triple R, Chrono Fang and Chrono Tiger Rebellion. So expect some aggressive playstyle with this whole new discard mechanic where we empower our units, get buttloads of drive checks, a lot of crits, insane power, and to put it all off, we got some spot removal with some guard restriction as well. So a lot of interesting and powerful stuff is coming your way straight out of the Astral Force, and we're gonna dive into them really soon. But before all that, let's analyze all the cards that this set has to offer for us in their respective clan set review. So if you're interested in all the new cards and what you can expect of them, then stick along on this channel as we're diving in all things the Astral Force. As always, this video has been brought to you by our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/VanguardInsider. You guys are amazing. If you do want to support the channel or everything that's happening on the channel, then head over to patreon.com/VanguardInsider and become a patron today. But with that said, I'm Mr. Tiny, and I see you guys in the next one!